You like sea turtles? We like sea turtles. And the ocean. And the world. And we should save it. So you should save it too. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Can you believe that it's already almost September? It's kind of crazy, but it's my favorite time of year, so I'm super excited. But we can't get into fall until we talk about what's happened this summer with banning straws. And lots of different cities have started to ban single-use straws. And personally, when it first came about, I was like, oh, okay. Well, what am I gonna drink out of? And then I saw the video of the sea turtle on YouTube and it almost broke my heart. And no, it did break my heart. And it's just, I'm just not the same actress. So after researching it online on why we're banning them and what kind of environmental dangers they are and to our oceans and our sea life and our environment as a whole, I came across this statistic that said that Americans use over, I know, right? Crazy. Americans use over 500 million single-use straws a day. I can't, like, when I started to think about that and then think about you throw them away and they go into trash and then they get into our oceans and harm our sea life, and oh, it was too much to handle. So I know that sometimes I think, well, I can't make a difference, or some of you guys think, well, you know, if I start doing that, you know, it's a lot bigger. I'm just one person, you know, the rest of the world has to do that too. And it really starts somewhere, and it really starts with one person. Starbucks has already started to phase them out of their company amongst lots of different companies. We have to do our part too. So I am completely banning straws from my house. We are no longer using them. I don't even want them from restaurants. I don't want to use them in our, we are switching completely over. If we use straws at all, they're going to be glass. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to just throw my straws away. I don't want to just contribute, you know what I mean? I don't want to just get rid of them. So I started to think about ideas for how to transform them into something that's useful or pretty, or DIY them into something that's home decor or something special. So I came up with a kind of cool, and I don't even know what's gonna work, idea. We're going to be twisting and cutting straws and make them into really beautiful wall decor. So I hope it works. I have no idea. I think the straws are pretty lightweight, so I don't think that they're going to be a problem to work with, but you never know. Please, 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 please don't go out and buy straws for this project. Look around your house. Look the next time that you go to a restaurant or a fast food place, or help Starbucks get rid of them, and use those. Don't go out to the store and buy new straws. That's just contributing to producing more of them. Okay, so let's get started.
The first design that we're going to get into is our sunburst design, and we're going to start by just cutting all of our straws in half and then start hot gluing the straws all around the edge of the mirror. The easiest way to make sure that all of your straws are evenly spaced is to start gluing them across from each other and then start going in between and splitting the difference, so you make sure that visually they looked all a little even spaced. In between the long pieces, I wanted a shorter piece, so I cut them again in half and then just went around in between each of the longer pieces and hot glued them in. You really can get creative with your design, putting them closer together or further apart, or making a cool design. Really get creative and see what you can come up with. Next, we're going to start gluing down our yarn, and this is a way for it to look really polished and clean and kind of hide some of the straws that are actually glued down to the mirror, and it gives it a unique look. So I'm going to go around with yarn about 3 times and just glue them down onto the mirror and then over each of the straws. And be careful, don't burn yourself, although I did a couple of times. And just keep going until you have the desired look that you want. The next step is to paint your straws and your yarn. So I picked this really pretty metallic champagne gold paint, and it's for multi-surface, so I'm giving it a shot to see if it will actually paint over the straws. So just pick your starting point and use a pretty generous amount of paint and just start painting over your yarn and your straws. I went over the straws themselves about 4 times to really get the color that I wanted and to really cover the straws completely. And then I took a finer brush and went over all of the fine edges so that I made sure that it had a really clean look, and I covered all of the color, the white color of the yarn. After you finish all of the painting, just set it aside to dry, and this one's finished. For my next design, I'm calling it a pointed sun design, and we're really following the same steps as the first one, although in this one, instead of cutting the straws, we're just going to be bending them right in half and then gluing each of the sides to the edge of the mirror and doing the same things, splitting the difference and start gluing across from each other so that we make sure all of our straws are really even. Then we're going to start gluing down our yarn, and I started this one really close to the edge, and I'm going to do 3 rows just gluing down to the mirror and then over the tops of the straws. And this time I want to completely cover the straws that are exposed over the mirror so that it gives a really clean look and is similar to the other one but also different at the same time so that they really complement each other. And for the final step, and just like the last one, we're going to be using the metallic champagne gold paint and then putting it pretty generously over all of the yarn and the straws, and go over your straws as many times as you want to get that desired look and coverage over the straws, because the first couple of coats you could still kind of see through the straws, and I really wanted them to be as solid as possible. So just keep going until you have what you want. For my third design, I really wanted a style that was complementing but didn't necessarily use straws. So I'm going to be creating a necklace holder. So first you're going to start off by taping off the bottom portion of the mirror with blue painter's tape, and then simply painting over the entire bottom half with acrylic paint. I'm using titanium white acrylic paint. And then I wanted a little bit of detail along the top, so I just took a fine brush and added a little detail along the top edge of the white. After you're done, you can simply pull off the blue painter's tape and you'll get a clean edge. Next, we're going to be applying these jewelry clamp closures to the mirror, which is actually going to hold our necklaces, and they kind of even look like little straw pieces, which really adds a complement to our other mirrors. So first, I'm going to cut off this little loop that they had on the top with some jewelry cutters, and then start placing all of the clamps evenly spaced on the mirror so I know where to glue them down. And to glue them down, I'm using a craft bond because I wasn't quite sure that super glue was going to be strong enough to hold weight of necklaces. So I'm just using a thin brush to apply the bond directly to the back of the clamp, and then putting the clamp directly onto the mirror and holding it down and putting some pressure so that it glues down pretty well. After I glued the clamps down, I realized that there wasn't quite enough detail along the top of the mirror, so I really wanted it to complement the others. So I just went around the edge and glued down some yarn, and then I'm going to go over that with the same metallic champagne gold paint and just really give it a similar look to the rest of them so that when they're hanging together, they look pretty nice. Easy and clean way to hang these in your house is to use the 3M Command picture frame hanging strips, so they're really easy to put up and take down whenever you want to.
see that you can make tons of different designs. The straws were totally easy to work with. You can bend them and twist them and cut them into different lengths and really make a unique design on your mirror or into other wall decor that you can keep, and then you don't have to recycle them and you don't have to throw them away, and you get to keep them and transforming something that's so harmful to our environment into something beautiful. And so just get rid of all the straws in your house, start using glass ones. Don't use steel ones or metal ones, they're really bad for your teeth. Use glass ones if you're going to use straws at all, and come up with your own design for this. You know, you can do tons of different sun designs and different I had another idea for like a tribal design. It's endless. So use up all of those straws, and if you liked this video and you like this DIY, please give it a thumbs up below. And if you want to continue watching my channel and watching my room transformations and other DIYs that I do around the house and in life and in fashion and whatever else I'm going to be doing, please hit the subscribe button below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys! There's a statistic. Can you believe it's August 20? Excuse me. I don't eat fast food, I only eat healthy food. I may get McDonald's after this. Kinsley, are you ready? Are you ready to save the planet?